Hey everybody, Flip and Danny here, founders of the Freedom Real Estate Group family of companies, and welcome to another episode of our podcast, which is called
Freedom Through Passive Income.
That's right. And welcome to another episode. This one is entitled, What is Our Track Record and Why It Matters?
Yeah.
It does matter.
It does matter.
Yeah.
You should actually be checking people's track record before you work with them.
That's correct. So for those of you that didn't know, Danny and I started in real estate in 2008, and which everybody knows 2008 real estate, which is an awesome time to get started in real estate. But it actually was, because we actually, what do you do when you start in real estate? Well, you study for the realtor's test and get your realtor's license. That's what everybody does, right?
Right.
So we did. And 8 months later, and we did one deal. And so that really just pushed us into real estate investing. So thankfully, all of that happened.
Yes, everything happens for a reason. We always say that.
Yep.
And since then, we have invested in, or lived and invested in Texas, Arizona, and Ohio. And we partnered with an attorney during a period while we were in Texas.
Yep.
And we were actually doing deals nationally. And since then, I think... we bought and sold over 1,200 deals during that time, up until now. I know there was a day that we went through all of our records, right? We counted every single one, because the last thing I wanted to do was say we did so many deals and we didn't actually do that many deals. So we counted all of them. And now it's just like a couple years will go by. How many did we do? I don't know. Just say 100. When we kind of know it's like 150 or 200.
Right.
And then we do it again, I'll just say 100. And so I think we're probably way past 1,200, but we're just going to say 1,200.
Yeah. So, and then in 2017 was when we decided that we wanted to do something just a little bit bigger than just her and I. And that's when we formed Freedom Real Estate Group.
Yeah.
And little did we know what that little company was going to do. But that was just 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And so now, today, we have 6 companies that are under the Freedom family of companies is what we call it.
Yep.
And we've got almost 50 team members, and that's in the 6 companies. And we have our 15,000 square foot office here. And that comes quite a bit, considering that we started off in our house.
Yeah, yes.
Right?
That's right.
With Betty in our dining room.
Yes. And the 6 companies really focused on a lot of relationships that we started building in the private money lending side of things.
Yep.
And that's really where I think you can, kind of talk about that, because that speaks to our track record.
Yeah, and with our private money lenders, that's the hand that feeds you.
Yes.
And the don't bite the hand that feeds you. Right. And so that's been something that's been very, very precious to us and very dear to us, and nothing will hurt that relationship.
Yes.
So even if we do a deal and we lose tens of thousands of dollars, which we have, and there's been episodes on them, the private money lender did not know this.
Yes.
They got their money back and everything that we told them that they were going to get. And so it was, never in the history of our company has any private money lender received less than what they were owed.
Yeah. And it's important to note too that they didn't know, not because we weren't transparent and willing to tell them. It's just that they don't care. They care that their money is earning the interest and that we do what we said we were going to do.
Yep.
And so when the deal was done and we lost $40,000 or whatever it was, we didn't have to tell them that we lost $40,000. We weren't going to cry and whine and complain and say, oh, you're making all this money and we lost money. No, we're just going to pay them exactly what we promised them because that was the agreement and we're true to our word. So if they ever wanted to know, we'd be welcome to tell them, and we'd also say, and you got paid. We lost money, and that's the volume game for us, and that's what we talk about that a lot too. So, and then we started multifamily in 2020, as you guys know. We've done lots of episodes. This is what this podcast is really about. Not that you can't achieve freedom through passive income through all the other ways of which we built, because that's one of the pieces, but we love talking about multifamily because it is our current, total passion. So started that in 2020. We bought a 56 unit. Then we were partners as a general partner on a 384 unit. Then we're a general partner on a 129 unit. And then we are closing on the 48 unit in May. And this episode might be after May, so we might have already closed. I wanted to talk real quick about part of that track record and some of the things that we hear back from the people that we work with. So we very recently, the 129 unit I just mentioned, we just recently sent out the very first update. We didn't close on it. We closed on it like about a month and a half ago or something like that. Do you remember?
I think it was in March, so it was a couple months ago.
Okay. So we sent out this update. In the update is, after just a month of ownership, Ridgeland Ranch is off to a good start. We've hired a new on-site property manager. The pool was green, is now drained, clean, and is being painted blue. We have new market rent leases. We were planning on achieving these new market rent and fees after we completed exterior improvements, but we were pleasantly surprised that we're achieving them ahead of schedule.
That's
we
awesome.
are on track to send out the first distribution 1 quarter after closing. So it's much longer email, obviously. I just didn't want to read it all during the podcast. And then one of our investors who invested in this deal replied to us and said, "That's great news. This has increased my trust in you and would love to invest more." And that's the things that we want to hear all the time. And we want to continue building those great relationships. So the other things we wanted to kind of share in this track record episode was just some other feedback that we've gotten from people.
Right, and so that testimonial, that was really just a response, but
Yes.
but based upon a property. And so here's some testimonials that are just about the company, not property related.
Yeah.
So for years we've been debt free and increasing our savings/net worth. But we wrestled with how we would cash flow our savings during our retirement years when we were no longer actively creating income. For us, the solution provided by the Freedom Companies was 10 to 12% returns on secure investments. That cuts in half the amount of savings needed to support the retirement lifestyle we are seeking.
Yes.
Here's another one. So this was Danny and I were on a podcast with Keith Weinhold.
Yep.
This one is funny. It says, "Selfishly, I'm sad that you were on his podcast because now you're going to have even more investors beating down your door to work with you." And it says, "Makes me even more comfortable having invested significantly with you guys and makes me comfortable wanting to invest even more because obviously Keith's the big name and he obviously trusts you guys. And the more I interact with you, the more I get comfortable with it." And then another different, actually this is the same guy. So this is, "When I heard you on the first podcast, I was like, oh wow, she sounds so happy and bubbly and optimistic. And that's the kind of person I want to do business with." And then he says, "It would just be so nice to have to not have to keep looking around vetting all these different ones." And he's talking about, I think,
different investment companies. Yeah.
So I'm trying to diversify and spread my money out, but geez, I'd love to just have it most of it with just one place because you offer so many opportunities that I can diversify so much just with you guys.
Yeah, so we've got a lot more that we wanted to share, but those were recent ones that probably came through in the last 30 to 60 days. So we just wanted to share what other people are saying and tell you how important it is that you check with people's track record, understand what they've done, where they've been, and how they treat their clients and what people are saying about them.
Yep. It's like when you buy something on Amazon, do you check the reviews to see what people say about it?
I do.
I know I do. Make sure you're heading on over to the website, Freedom Capital Investments, and joining our investor club to learn about the deals and things that we can't talk about on the social medias, but we're on all the other outlets and things and there and other places. Make sure you're hitting the like button.
Yes.
Hit the like button.
Hit the like button if we're adding any value, please, and thank you.
Yes, and we always like to end all of our episodes with
Invest smart.
Live happy.
Bye everybody.
Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions and information on this show are not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit or loss.